A bit of a blistery day here in Schellenberger Field. The Lynchburg University, that's not right either. University of Lynchburg in Lynchburg, Virginia. It is the Generals and the Hornets on LHSN. Off to a cracking start here from inside the booth. Hello, everyone. I'm Joe Hutzler. Happy to have you along for this Sunday matinee action featuring two teams that are in the running to host the ODAC tournament in just 2 weeks' time. Now, right now, right now, WNL is 6-0 on the season. Lynchburg 5-1, so it's crucial in relation to that. Also, the Generals have yet to play Bridgewater, so today's matchup has a lot of weight carrying on its shoulders heading into the postseason in just a few short weeks. Let's go ahead and talk about these two teams when it comes to them on paper. And you can see here that overall, WNL has the advantage in total numbers. But when you get past the goals part, it's pretty even. And we know Lynchburg is working harder and harder on finishing shots. They'll have to do it today if they want to defeat this General squad. Let's talk about the coaches of this matchup. Inside the huddle, wearing that blue cap, is Neil Cunningham in his 20th season. 4 ODAC titles, would love to add a 5th here. Crucially, against the Lynchburg team that has always kind of bested the rest of the group, but recent years have shown that other teams can push the Hornets to the limit, and his being one of them. Dr. Todd Olson for Lynchburg, looking for another late run after a disappointing finish in the ODAC tournament last year in his 27th season, tying for the most wins in Division III history back in 2014, that national championship run, and looking forward to another great match today on the pitch. Let's head over to our players to watch, and for Washington and Lee, we are looking at Ava Busey, the sophomore from Finksburg, Maryland, with 5 goals through 6 games played this season, 2 assists as well. The forward wearing number 31 will certainly be on the tip of my tongue as the broadcast progresses, and she'll be on your screens a lot this afternoon. And for Lynchburg, Alyssa D'Amato, in her 2nd season with the team, she's becoming a force to be reckoned with at the attack position for Lynchburg. First career hat trick in that win versus the Hornets of Shenandoah. She leads the team in points with 11, 5 goals, and 1 assist. Pre-game is over. The game itself about to get started. As you take a look at the goalkeeper today for Washington and Lee, that is Grace Coombs, the Boca Raton, Florida junior. Starting today in her 7th game played. So far this year, she has yet to give up a goal, has 4 saves. There's Laura Mason. She is starting on the other end of the pitch in between the pipes. The junior from Stafford, Virginia, comes in today with 3 goals against, 8 saves, a .727 save percentage. And we are underway from Schellenberger Field, the Generals and the Hornets, for the 29th time since 1999. Lynchburg leads the series since the turn of the century, 19-9. And they are an impressive 13-2-2 here at home with a 6-7-2 record in Lexington. Looking to add to that impressive home total this afternoon as the rain has ceased in what we like to call Drenchburg. Raining most of yesterday into the night and as recently as 10 minutes ago, but now it has stopped. The clouds will stick around. Don't have to worry about heat. But both of these teams will be put through the paces and have to gauge their exhaustion levels throughout the contest. Emily Santana starts in the midfield for Lynchburg. This was an area that they really excelled at in that 5-0 win over Shenandoah last weekend. Able to push the ball through the middle, then get it outside once they cross midfield with the likes of Maddie Myers, who has possession now and gets it back from Taylor Smith, but only for a moment. That'll be the game plan, certainly, for this Hornet squad. Admittedly, I've not seen Washington and Lee play this year, but their numbers tell the tape. 6-0 on the season. They have yet to give up a goal against their starting goalkeeper. Only one goal given up all season long. That was a 5-1 win over Ferrum, where they gave up that one tally. Since then, 4 consecutive shutouts at Eastern Mennonite versus Southern Virginia and Virginia Wesleyan, and then most recently up in Winchester, a 2-0 win over those Hornets. Free kick. Alex Allen will send it inside and off the foot and away. Sophie Walsh made contact with it, but WNL with good defense standing in front. Allen goes deep again. It pinballs around. Finds the foot of Von Rosenberg, who sends it ahead. On an island, though, is Boosie, and Allen plays good defense to send it across the touchline. It'll be a throw from there. Von Rosenberg plays it back. Opportunity to let you know who started for these squads today. Told you about Grace Coombs in between the pipes. Ella Prilliman out there too for the Generals. Sydney Von Rosenberg, Chloe Rapier, Louisa Bynum, Caitlin Barnes, Cameron Granger, Caroline Lawson as the Hornets pressure. And it's headed away. Aaron Hay out there to start for the Generals, as well as Liz Sullivan, and our player to watch for WNL, Ava Boosie. For Lynchburg in numerical order, Victoria Newman, Taylor Smith, Alex Allen, Emma Hyatt, Amanda Wigboldy, Madison Myers, Lindsay Grady, Sophie Walsh, Ida Swisher, and Laura Mason in net. Just 5 minutes gone by. Neither team really able to create sustained pressure, but each has put some pressure on the back line so far, and each back line up to the task as a good pass comes through to Lindsay Grady. Grady plays it outside to Victoria Newman. Newman, and swiftly knocked away by Barnes. Victoria Newman right here in the area, Forest, Virginia, product of Jefferson Forest High School. Her father, Victor, takes fantastic photos and lends himself to some of our games throughout the week, but also stellar motorsports photos, which personally I'm a fan of. Still reeling from a really tough Formula One result today. But it's race 1 out of 23. There's time, Joe. There's time. Coombs with the goal kick inside the box. One touch intended for Hay. No hay to be made, so she'll send it to the other side of the field. Generals with a kick, and Mason losing it, and it still rolls wide. This will be interesting to watch on the replay. I don't know if it just took an awkward trajectory for Mason Yeah, she hit the ground and the ball at the same time, so wasn't able to firmly grasp it. But fortunate for the Hornets, it rolled wide of the cage. Now the Generals have their first corner of the half. And it's spot on, but Mason's there too. Well played by both the Generals in that position of the corner and Mason being there to hold on. That was the 39th corner kick of the season for Washington and Lee. Both of these teams pretty even in that regard. Lynchburg has 36 through the same amount of matches. Loose ball finds the feet of Santana, and then her pass is off the mark. Ida Swisher, high rainbow throw. Emma Hyatt, one of the few seniors on the team this year. Even fewer that plays for the squad. The only one that starts. Dana Seavey with the off-season surgery that's kept her out. Usually playing on the back line with Hyatt. But give credit to Lynchburg's coaching staff taking advantage of the transfer portal and bringing in someone like Alex Allen, who's been a really nice welcome addition to this Hornets program. Nice welcome addition to the stadium atmosphere. The gentleman using the Westphalia van to its fullest extent as this one rolls through. Newman goes down away from the ball. And no call there, as there should have been. Although Patrick Moore of Lynchburg men's lacrosse not agreeing with the no call. Usually we're talking about the voices you hear being the players or the coaches, but since we're on this side of the pitch this season, at least momentarily, until about another 2 weeks or so, the student section becomes involved in our crowd microphone as the clock stops. And trying to get a view of the number. We're going to try to show you what happened. Yeah, it's Boosie. I thought it was Boosie, and just no contact. That's always scary. Just running along, and then hamstring has a hiccup and puts our player to watch today and the team's leader in points on the turf. Brittany Smith, part of the Lynchburg athletic training staff, looking at Boosie. So we know Ava is in great hands as she makes her way over to the table. A big shout out to all athletic trainers watching today. It is Athletic Training Month, Athletic Trainer Appreciation Month, all of March. And of course, I'm a little biased, but I have to say there are some tremendous, absolutely tremendous ATs and ATs in training, thanks to the MSAT program at University of Lynchburg, that would be a welcome asset to any program, any level for that matter, collegiately, professionally, in sports. Big thank you to all that they do for all the athletes and sometimes the staff members, depending on how noon hoops and kickball games go. Free kick for Caroline Lawson. One touch that's off the mark from Von Rosenberg, but great play. Taking it back for the Generals, it's Hay, and now a shot that will score from the sharp angle left side. Lindsay White, who checks in for Boosie and puts herself firmly on the highlight reel with the opening goal. The sophomore from Greenville, South Carolina. Third goal of the season in substitution format, and just beats Mason on a hard, fast kick. Lindsay White with the opening goal here today. And if you look back at the series history since 1999, it's a big moment for the Generals as far as leading to success. Of course, last time these two teams met in 2019, W&L scored the first and the next two in a 3-0 win, the most lopsided victory for the Generals in that time frame over Lynchburg. A Generals program that lost or tied Lynchburg from 2009 to 2016. But in recent years, it's been much closer, and showing that trend again here today. And the hardest thing for Lynchburg has been finishing. They're getting good chances, but they've struggled to finish. Even in that Shenandoah game, they scored with 13 seconds into the contest to make it 1-0, and then they really didn't pressure Shenandoah the rest of the half. And then, of course, the second half, things opened up in a big way, just like the Sky has recently in Lynchburg, Virginia, and ended up being a 5-0 win for the home team that day. But this is a much better defense that they're facing today, and now the Generals have the advantage of being up by 1. So things can be more aggressive defensively. There's a cushion there, there's some comfortability there, as Cameron Granger slowly gets up after being fouled by Wigboldy. And you could even see that in the opening graphic. We talked about total goals this year. Washington and Lee, as we saw that foul a moment ago. But Washington and Lee with 29 goals this season. Their opponents with 1. They average 4.8 per contest. Lynchburg, on the other hand, just 16 total goals through 6 matches.
Well done, Santi.
And the other portion to think about from Lynchburg's perspective is it's been a week since they've played, and that's not typical of your soccer schedule. Of course, nothing is typical about the soccer schedule this year, playing in the springtime as opposed to the fall, at least when it comes to the NCAA. If you're in Virginia in high school, we play in the spring anyway. But to add to that is you normally have 2 games per week, so you have another opponent to play throughout the middle of the week, just like Washington and Lee did with that victory 2-0 over Shenandoah back on the 25th. But Lynchburg, it has been 7 days since they were on this same pitch against Shenandoah. And when things are as close as they are on paper between 2 opponents, those small factors have to come into play, as the officials letting them play hardball right now Lots of contact, players going down. Ball bouncing around, and it'll be Lynchburg with a throw here by Newman. Short toss for Grady. And Lindsey Grady has it stolen away. Dangerous pass to anyone who's close, and it was Newman who pulls it back and then throws it, kicks it near the 18, pushed through by Myers. Grady was offside before the takedown around the 6, and it'll be a goal kick from Coombs. Good pressure from Lynchburg in this counter opportunity after giving up the goal. And once again, the Hornets trying to push through. Good talk by the bench for Lynchburg, letting Santana know that Lindsey White was coming in hot. Once again, Santana pressured, gets around 2, not the 3rd though. And 2 feet come to that ball as it bounces near Coombs. Down goes Grady in the box. And consistent is the official in letting things play out. But as we've talked about before on women's soccer broadcasts, on men's soccer broadcasts, when assistant women's soccer coach Matthew Newton is in the press box with me, will that stay that way the rest of the match? Rarely does it do that. Typically, the second half starts. Those moments will more than likely turn into whistles, turn into stoppages, maybe even cards. That's what's so frustrating from a coach's perspective, and from anybody watching it, the change in consistency from first half to second half, as there is a whistle for a free kick this time. So it'll be something to look out for during these next 27 minutes and beyond. As Lynchburg stares at a 1-0 deficit, only 1 shot credited to the Hornets so far. 4 total shots for Washington and Lee. Bad deflection goes off the head of Louisa Bynum. Meanwhile, Grady trying to force one into Wigboldy, and the Generals calling for the handball. That is the call. Maddie Myers. And now Hyatt goes deep for Wigboldy. Too strong though. Combs just deflecting it. Almost an own goal situation, but she got enough to at least send it wide. It'll turn into Lynchburg's first corner of the contest. Look at it again. Hyatt going for Wigboldy, but that wind picked it up a little bit, sent it long, and still almost turned into a negative for the Generals. Instead, they'll have to play defense on this set piece from Lynchburg, their 37th corner of the season, first of the day. It's Smith going long and out of play. The wind is coming from the right to the left as you look at it on your screen. As it typically does, it blows off the mountain back behind Wakefield House and shifts its way through the opening of Freer Hall and Turner Gymnasium, blowing across the Hornet statue and throughout campus. Wigboldy, soft touch. Smith did what she could, but instead it's going to be Cameron Granger who takes it upon herself and goes over the head of Swisher. White chasing it down. Swisher just got it away to Newman. Newman takes a peek back, sees Barnes barreling down on her. After Lynchburg spent most of the last 5 or 6 minutes in their offensive third, it's the Generals' turn to see what they can do with good field position. There's that wind I talked about, blowing in from that side of the field. So certainly on those long corners, long free kicks, it will play a factor in the trajectory of the ball. Ball rolls near Walsh. She collides with Barnes. Bynum will send it ahead to White. Maddie Myers gets there first, turns on a dime, and sends it back toward midfield as Grady goes down hard. And consistent is the official. That has not been called, and it will continue to not be called as anything other than a soccer play. Alex Allen chips it ahead, looking for a bounce to find Grady. Lindsey Grady driving in, and Coombs gets there first to hold on, calmly collecting it as the Hornets continue to ramp up the pressure here with 22:43 remaining in the first half, being outshot 4-1 and outscored 1-0. Newman inadvertently poked in the eye on that chance at midfield. Seems to be okay. And Lynchburg will take the free kick from there. Alex Allen will do the honors. Thought about it, now comes back to it. Went over the head of Wigboldy, bumped away by Rapier. And our first substitution of the contest, we'll see our player to watch checking in for the first time. Alyssa D'Amato, team leader in points for the Hornets with 11. Gives Lindsey Grady a breather, perhaps a chance to put some ice on some of those bruises, as Grady has been pinballed around a lot inside the box. Caroline Lawson, sophomore from White Post, Virginia, will send it deep. Good header by Emma Hyatt, and he'll find D'Amato. Somehow the ball never touched an arm. Stayed around hip high on everyone, so Lynchburg will take it here. Matt Smith wanted D'Amato, instead got the foot of Lawson. Dangerous ball rolling near the end line, but it was last touched by Lynchburg. A 1-0 lead thanks to a goal from Lindsay White, who came in to relieve Ava Busey, who went down with a non-contact injury, pulling up on her right hamstring. And Lindsay White coming right in to ease the tensions that Coach Cunningham may have had. Of course, it's not like White has been sitting on the bench all season. She has played, she has scored. This is her 7th game played. She's got 7 points, now 8 on the year. Beg your pardon, now 9. A goal was worth 2, an assist worth 1 point. Good ball on the run, both Mason and Von Rosenberg. It was Mason getting there. Got to appreciate the well-placed pass from the Generals. And now they'll have a deep throw from the third, offensive third. And quickly, Lynchburg will send it back out. Both teams awaiting a moment to make some changes to their on-field lineup. Caitlin Barnes gets it in play. Awkward bounce. In a dangerous position, Santana turns it over. Von Rosenberg splits the defenders. Von Rosenberg looking for a cross, but Santana steps in the way of that. It's Newman. And Barnes tight-roping the touch line, and Lynchburg possession. Whistle sounds for substitutions.
Into the game for the Generals. Number 22, Emily Leading.
Emily Leading, the junior from Little Rock, Arkansas, checks in for the first time. And for Lynchburg, we're going to see Camille Waits, number 19 on your screen. Freshman from Dillsburg, PA. As Swisher tosses in to Waits. Swisher wanted to get to Wigboldy. Bynum gets in the way. Under 18 minutes to play in the first half. Still a 4-1 shot advantage for the Generals. All 4 of their shots have been on target, so give 3 saves to Laura Mason. Each team with a corner apiece. Lynchburg has 4 fouls, the Generals with 3. Newman gives it back to Santana after some excitement along the near sideline. And what is a very critical game related to the end of the season for both of these teams. Of course, Washington and Lee 6-0. They have 1 match left before the ODAC tournament starts April 6th. And that will be hosting Bridgewater on April 3rd. That is also their senior day. So next Saturday is the final day of the regular season. Tuesday, April 6th is the ODAC quarterfinals. Top 4 seeds will host the quarterfinals of the 8 teams that make it in. And the top 2 remaining seeds will host the semifinals. And of course, the ODAC championship will be held at the highest remaining seed. So different than in years past, of course, especially when you get to the semifinals, the top seed hosting all of the contests. And sometimes you get a team that's not hosting playing in the championship, as Lynchburg has been a part of a few times, actually. In their last few ODAC championships, they have crashed the number 1 seed's party, end up playing, if memory serves me right, I think they played Bridgewater for a championship at Virginia Wesleyan, and then they played Virginia Wesleyan for a championship at Bridgewater. 2-on-2 rush here for the Generals. Off the bench, and a shot coming here, potentially no. Alex Allen stamps it out from Emily Leading. Looking for that first shot after she was subbed in for in the last 2 minutes. Errant ball comes up, nails Hyatt as that ball sails high in the end from Cameron Granger. The pace has picked up, the intensity both in the atmosphere around the field and the action taking place on the pitch has picked up significantly in the last few minutes. Looking at it again, Leading, just doing what she can to get to that right foot, and Alex Allen's right foot was bigger and more in the way. A change for the Generals. And we're going to see
Into the game for the Generals. Number 21,
Grace Wilczowski for the first time. Wilczowski, sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina. 7th game played for Wilczowski this year. Of course, as I look at the list, everyone on this roster for Coach Cunningham has played at least one match this season. In fact, all but one General has played in at least 2. A lot of that stemming from the large deficits they're able to put out against opponents. 7-0 against Guilford, 5-1 to Ferrum, 9-0 Eastern Mennonite, 5-0 against Southern Virginia. And then more closely, the last 2 matches, a 1-0 victory versus the Marlins of Virginia Wesleyan and a 2-0 win against the other Hornets of Shenandoah University. So they're ending with their strongest part of their schedule in terms of opponents. Virginia Wesleyan, Shenandoah, Lynchburg, Bridgewater. Lynchburg on the other side of that equation. Again, just one match remaining. That'll be April 3rd, next Saturday at 12 o'clock from Salem, Virginia against Roanoke College. That is one team that Washington and Lee will not face in the regular season. And unfortunate for the ladies that put in the effort at Sweetbriar and Hollins, they did not even make the attempt to have a season.
Into the game for the Hornets. Number 9, Caroline Bunker.
Luckily for all of us, these 2 teams have. And we're able to be here today on a bit of a windy day, but no rain, high 60s, and high excitement. Lynchburg made 2 changes during that last stoppage. Caroline Bunker and Rebecca Da Silva are in for the first time. Good push here. Santana's going to get in the way. And it's going to be Lynchburg possession on the throw. Coming into your living room or your kitchen or your car, wherever you are, is Ida Swisher. Once again, Generals with pressure. This time they get it to the end line and bouncing it off of Hyatt's foot. It'll be the second corner kick of the match for Washington and Lee as they make another change.
Number 30, Annie Martin.
And you're looking at Annie Martin, a sophomore from my stomping grounds, Martinsburg, West Virginia. She played for the Bulldogs. I won't hold that against her.
Taking this corner kick for the Generals. Number 29.
Still really cool either way to see an Eastern Panhandler on the pitch as Mason punches that one away. Still loose just away from the bar and then kicked out of play by Lucy Worthy. I think that was actually Caroline Lawson who was in there. From this distance, the 8 and the 0s sometimes look similar. That was Lawson who kicked it out, and it becomes a goal kick from Mason. Just about 10 minutes to play here in the first half. Lynchburg down by 1 and still looking for just their second shot of the contest. They're trailing in that category 5-1. Laura Mason hasn't been tested a whole lot this year, except for, of course, that loss to Bridgewater. but has 4 saves in the first half to keep it 1-0 and give the Hornets lots to feel good about as they work to tie this game up. One touch intended for White, but it finds Allen instead. Smith gets in front of Hay. But it's the Generals with good possession here. Nice passes connecting to one another. Now Lynchburg's turn. Santana goes deep looking for Myers. Too strong. I talked about the multiple ways you can enjoy this broadcast a few moments ago. I want to thank our Sports Information Director, Mark Robertson, tuning in from his laptop, staying connected even when he's not on campus, which is always appreciated. Change here for the Generals.
Into the game for the Generals. Number 5, Brenna.
Lawson steps out, and Brenna Winner steps in. Winner, sophomore defenseman out of Crosswicks, New Jersey, from the Hun School of Princeton. And once again, it's Washington and Lee pressuring just outside the box, now inside of it. White going low, looking for a deflection. It's not there. Myers got in the way. Good work by Maddie Myers to step inside that passing lane and to deflect it away from harm. Excellent footwork, and then eventually Smith, though, overpowering Wilczowski. Now it's Lynchburg's turn to try and counter with some chances. D'Amato ahead to Bunker. Santana. Good one touch, finds D'Amato. Alyssa D'Amato along the end line, crosses it, and Coombs knocks it down to herself. Great handiwork by number 1 in black today. Some of those soccer genes from her father, who played 4 years at Albion College, coming through in the clutch. Swisher will be calling for the foul there as leading goes down, and the Generals will take the free kick inside the middle circle. Louisa Bynum sends it on and over, and Mason will hold on to it there. 5:45 to go in the first half. Joe Hutzler narrating your journey today. It was a bumpy first page, but we got through it, and now we're fully entrenched in some great action on Schellenberger Field to end a very busy weekend here on LHSN. Started with a fantastic, electric night under the lights on Friday as Lynchburg men's lacrosse avenged their loss last week in overtime to CNU with a dominating 12-5 finish over number 3 Christopher Newport. Bunker ahead for D'Amato. Here's Alyssa D'Amato going low. Coombs lost it, and it will roll across the end line for a corner kick. D'Amato hoping that she had more to offer on that kick as far as strength goes, but in the end, Lynchburg will gladly head to the corner for their second time of the half. You can see the wind ripping from right to left. See if Smith tries to compensate for that, maybe send it more towards the 18 so it rolls back to the middle. It's going to stay right in the middle of the box, headed away briefly by Bynum as Smith puts it back inside directly at Coombs, who holds on. Now Coombs has tried multiple times to send it straight up and try to go deep with it, and the wind kicks it right back. Now she'll keep it a little bit lower, but it just dies before it reaches midfield. Those gusts are powerful. And if you're Lynchburg, you kind of want to put one on here in the last 4 minutes and maybe use that wind to the advantage, giving the ball more power as it heads towards the goal. Both teams making late half changes. Sophia Roche checks in for the first time for the Generals. And we're also seeing Abby Little, a freshman from Herndon, Virginia, on the pitch for the Hornets. Santana connects with Bunker. Bit of a hard touch there, though, and has to regroup along the touchline. And Bunker goes down. That'll be a foul on Wilczowski. Wilczowski kicking it away in frustration. Can't do that late in the contest. Certainly will look at that negatively as far as delaying the game. Another look at the foul there on Wilczowski as Allen sets up for the free kick. Hard and low. And for the sideline, keeping it in play was Roche. D'Amato steals it away. Connects with De Silva, only briefly, as Smith able to get it through. Couple whiffs. And eventually a swift kick out of play. Hornet possession there. 2:20 to go in the first 45 minutes. We invite you to stick around for first half highlights and stats. Also a look at a new addition to the venue here at Schellenberger Field, one that we're very excited to fully complete in the next 2 weeks. Smith slides in, takes possession. This is D'Amato pushing it, hoping that Waits was there, but instead it was the foot of Sullivan that got in the way. Hornets continue with heavy pressure to try and finish out this first half with momentum their way, even though they're trailing. This is Swisher. D'Amato with the steal. D'Amato wanted to get to that dominant foot, but instead it's Sullivan once again making a great play defensively. Classic situation for Lynchburg of getting there, getting good chances, getting in a good spot, but not able to finish yet as Smith's shot goes high, headed away by Sullivan, and eventually kicked out of harm's way with less than a minute to play in half number one. A quick change here for the Generals as time winds down. Smart play by Coach Cunningham to waste a few seconds. It's Caroline Christensen from Annandale, Virginia, in for the last 30 seconds. Santana heads it forward for Waits. Outside now for Bunker as she makes a good contact shot on Bynum. They continue to play. D'Amato and Sullivan going after it again, but it's Rapier with the clear. 10 seconds to play.
6, 5, 4, 3.
And that is going to wrap it up for the first 45 minutes here at Schellenberger Field. The Generals get a goal from Lindsay White, and they hold on to it after 45 minutes. Washington and Lee leads Lynchburg 1-0 on LHSN.
Everyone has a story. A triumph, a time they fell short, a gift, a light all their own. Every story has a beginning. For us, our stories began long before we got here, at the moment we discovered we had something to share with the world. But no matter where we've been, our journeys weave together at the University of Lynchburg. Since 1903, we've grown from a handful of students to a diverse, dynamic community of students, professors, staff, and alumni around the world. In a community that supports who we are and who we want to be, we're on a journey to find where our passions lead so we can lead others to find theirs. Together, we have more experience, we have more knowledge than we do alone. Eventually, our stories will lead us to a path all our own, and we will share our passions with the world. No matter the journey we choose, the University of Lynchburg is, and always will be, our home.
Thomas Gibson Hobbs graduated from Virginia Christian College in 1904 as a member of its first graduating class. After earning a law degree from the University of Virginia, he settled in Lynchburg and began a highly successful career as an attorney. In January of 1915, he was invited to attend a meeting of the College Board of Trustees, during which the possibility of closing the college due to financial concerns was to be considered. Mr. Hobbs spoke eloquently of the need to fight for the college's existence, and the board decided to continue operating the institution. He was asked to serve on the board at that meeting and served as the chairman of the Board of Trustees from 1918 until his tragic death in 1942. Mr. Hobbs was a guiding light as the college changed its name to Lynchburg College and moved toward becoming an accredited liberal arts institution. His relationships with the economic power structure of the city played a critical role as the young college struggled financially through the depths of the Great Depression. His belief in Josephus Hopwood's vision of the college never wavered, as reflected in his message to the student body in the late 1930s. Lynchburg College, with continued wise leadership, is just on the threshold of development into an institution which will, in still larger measure, build sound leadership in church and school and state, a leadership which will look for its reward in the consciousness of service rendered and a task well done. Upon his death in 1942, the Board of Trustees unanimously adopted a resolution of appreciation which named Mr. Hobbs as, quote, the college's greatest leader, unquote.
At Lynchburg, we don't fear change. We embrace it. In our students, on our campus, in our community, and around the world. We're building on our legacy of always moving forward. It's the same place, with a new name. Welcome to the University of Lynchburg.
let's go back and take a look at some really cool stuff here. The scoreboard removal here inside Schellenberger Field's venue. That took place about a week ago with the board that was up there since 2006 coming down. And that's how it looked for a few days, but then promptly this week, 8:14 a.m., they began putting up what is here now. Of course, that part at the bottom looks very similar, and then, whoa, what is this? This huge video board, the largest in Division III east of the Mississippi, gets put up in a matter of 2 days. We still have to get that press box put in so we can control the video board, but at the end of it all, this is what we have for the venue now. And a big thank you to our 5 for the Hive donors who contributed to the money necessary to create this moment. And there it is as we see it today on this Sunday afternoon. And you can see that it's 1-0 Generals over Lynchburg with 10 minutes to go in the halftime period. We'll step aside and come back with numbers and highlights on LHSN.
My name is Marlene Castaños. I graduated in 2009. I was a communication major. I am a digital producer now for the Martin Agency. So we have brought up amazing clients from Geico to Land O'Lakes to Oreo. So we get to create amazing content, all those funny Geico commercials that you see. And as a digital producer, I get to create amazing content for digital. I was very highly involved here. I was president of my class while I was here. I was president of the Hispanic Society. I joined a sorority when I was here. I had like 2 jobs. So having a sense of managing my time, it kind of pushed me to be better at my job right now. Just knowing that you had someone on your corner was really important, and they really took the time to really invest in their students. I felt like I had a cheerleading squad behind me at every single point. They were the ones that encouraged me to look for those opportunities, to push myself to be better. So it's definitely truly an amazing place. I brag about this place all the time. So if anyone gets lucky enough to be part of this community, it's life-changing.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
A lot of people go to the universities to find something to be a part of while getting their education. And when you come here, Lynchburg is that something, it becomes a family. It's what this school's really good at doing.
The name of that song that you're hearing in the background is called Cool Breeze. It is very breezy here at Schellenberger Field, and there are your first half numbers right now, with Washington and Lee leading 1-0 after 45 minutes of play. It's tight just about everywhere, and it's certainly worth your energy to come back and check out the second half. When we come back, we'll show you first half highlights here on LHSN.
Lynchburg really stood out for me just because of the way it treated its students. They really do make an effort here, and I've learned that over my 4 years is that they actually do try to listen to what the student body wants, and they try to act on that. They don't really just give you a piece of paper here to then go off and do your own thing. They actually prepare you to like work with different populations, which is what the world is all about. It's just working with people that are different than you. They genuinely care that everyone has the ability to go off into the world and make a difference with whatever they like. For me, that's just being basically in a room with someone helping them achieve their first goal of, I don't know, doing a pull-up. I actually do believe they want you to do the best you can to change someone's life for the better. You can be anyone here, which I think is really cool. But regardless of who you are here, they will make sure you don't fall through the cracks, which is awesome. I have realized that I've never felt lost here. I will not regret ever coming here, that's for sure. So I'm very glad that I came here. Yeah, it's actually pretty awesome.
Carrie Brewer became the 7th president of Lynchburg College in 1964, only 15 years after his graduation in 1949. During those intervening years, he had earned a PhD in public policy from Harvard, served as an aide to 2 major congressional committees, and was the director of emergency preparedness in the Kennedy administration. Returning to his alma mater, he hit the ground running. Dr. Brewer initiated a change in the college charter to allow students of all races to enroll. He cut the standard faculty teaching load by 20%. He improved faculty and staff salaries and increased the size of the faculty and the student body. He sought to raise the visibility of the college in Lynchburg, as well as the larger community, by offering graduate programs in education, business, and physics to meet identified needs in Central Virginia. An enthusiastic fan of LC sports, Dr. Brewer added administrative support to the college's athletic programs, resulting in the emergence of Lynchburg College as a national athletic power. During his presidency, Snido Chapel, the courts, McWayne, Tate, and Montgomery residence halls, the Burton Student Center, Turner Gymnasium, Wakefield House, Foxfield, the Dillard Fine Arts Building, the Capron Library, and the residences on Faculty Drive were added to the college physical plan. Also, Memorial Gymnasium was transformed into Hall Campus Center. Carnegie Hall was converted into faculty offices, and the surviving World War II Quonset hut was remodeled into the psychology building. However, perhaps the greatest legacy left Lynchburg College by Carrie Brewer is the attitude embedded in his oft-repeated statement that a great college is always in the process of becoming. In the decades since he retired, Lynchburg College has become a university and has continued to grow and change, moving ever closer towards becoming the institution envisioned by a 36-year-old neophyte college president over half a century ago.
My name is Brittany Coleman. I graduated in 2014 and I have a major in chemistry and a minor in secondary education, and I'm currently teaching chemistry and 7th grade science at a local combined school. Being able to have access to your professors pretty much anytime they're in their office is really helpful, especially in difficult science subjects. I love that I am able to teach a difficult subject to students who typically aren't going to perceive it as enjoyable. I'm able to present it in an interesting way because I was presented this information in an interesting way. It's nice for me to be able to mirror what it was that influenced me to be able to teach.
At Lynchburg, we don't fear change. We embrace it. In our students, on our campus, in our community, and around the world. We're building on our legacy of always moving forward. It's the same place with a new name, Welcome to the University of Lynchburg.
Welcome back, friends and fans, to Schellenberger Field on the campus of University of Lynchburg. The Generals lead the Hornets 1-0 at halftime. And hello once again. Welcome inside the booth. We are ready for a very exciting second half of play. It was a ruckus start, a little shaky in the beginning, and then it really blew up here in the last 20 minutes. Let's take a look at some of those highlights for you in case you missed any of the action. And as we look, we're going to see Lindsay White scoring this goal, the only goal scored so far. And for her, it was in substitution fashion. Ava Busey went out with an injury, and Lindsay White comes in and scores for the third time this season. Grace Coombs has done a good job today. Not tested a whole lot, but just enough there to keep that one from being a problem for the Generals. Laura Mason, 5 shots faced, 5 stops for her, including that one on a corner kick from Washington and Lee. And for Lynchburg, they've had chances. They've had really good buildups to get inside the 18, but too many that have not been where they wanted to be, too many that haven't been really testing Coombs to a limit where she can't hold on, and therefore Lynchburg still looking for that first goal of this contest. A contest that is crucial for the ODAC tournament, which begins promptly on the 6th of April. So next weekend is the final weekend of soccer in the ODAC. Before the ODAC tournament starts, the quarterfinals will be on April 6th. The top 4 seeds of the 8 teams that go into it will host. And then the top 2 I have to take a look at that again. Yes, so the top 4 seeds will host. Top 2 remaining seeds will host the semifinals on April 9th, and then the championship at the highest remaining seed will be on April 11th. That is 2 Sundays from now. Someone will be hoisting a trophy. And based on how the season has gone so far, you can peg the team on your screen, the one they're playing against, and the team from up the road in Bridgewater, Virginia, as good candidates to be hoisting the ODAC trophy when that time comes. We're very, very pleased that there is a trophy to be had. Of course, the NCAA making the decision back in the fall season that there will not be an NCAA tournament. The teams and the conferences are welcome to still play their conference formats. And therefore, here we are. Second half has begun. Lynchburg and Washington and Lee meeting for the 29th time since 1999. Lynchburg looking to avenge a 3-0 loss in the fall of 2019, the last time these two met. Before that, it had been 3 seasons since the Generals defeated Lynchburg, and that was right here on this field.
Look at Maddie, she's open!
We talked a lot in the first half about the wind being an issue, especially on throws, long corner kicks, free kicks from outside the box. It is still ripping through this field, and it also is still coming the same direction. So it's now at the Generals' backs as they work to the other side of the field. Lynchburg's team and bench, home fans, all upset with nothing being called there on that near the 18-yard line. As Grady finds Wigboldy, but she can't hold on to it. So we'll see how much the wind plays a factor here. Should give Coombs a needed boost on those goal kicks. Lynchburg will have to deal with it for the first time, going against them. Swisher tosses in, looking for Wigboldy, finds her. She plays back to it, sends one high into the 18-yard area, but once again, Chloe Rapier right there to make it tough. And that's what's been key and crucial for the Generals. They have bent, but they have not broken defensively. Now they'll switch sides of the field. Myers sends it ahead to Santana. Santana loses one defender, gets around another. Santana looks for that pass to Wigboldy, but Sullivan in the way. Liz Sullivan has played an excellent game on that back line. And now it turns into a counter for the Generals, and a shot that did not find its way to Mason thanks to good defense and a tackle from Emma Hyatt. It will be a corner opportunity for the Generals, but kudos to Hyatt for that effort. Third corner opportunity of the contest for Washington and Lee. They have over 40 now on the year. High in swinger, headed, stays in play, dangerously played back towards the 18. It goes off the crossbar. Still in play for the Generals. Allen makes contact, and eventually a whistle that gives it to Lynchburg. What a dangerous ball that was played off the end line just to keep it away from being another corner, but it played right back into the hands of the Generals, who had a really good shot at it here. One more time, you can see Elle Prilliman just a bit too much underneath that ball and sailed it high. And Laura Mason there to say thank you. Thank you, best friend. Taylor Smith went for a long kick. It's Wigboldy making a play on it. Back for Taylor Smith. Looking for Grady, and it was just away from that left foot. Right idea. Just not executed the way that she wanted. So it's Coombs' turn for Coach Cunningham to boot it away. Two of the longest tenured coaches in the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. Coach Olson inside his 25th season. Coach Cunningham in his 20th season. Each winning multiple ODAC championships, ODAC Coaches of the Year, state and national honors as well for both themselves and their athletes. There's Coach Olson and Coach Deacon, Natalie Deacon, part of that 2014 national championship team, and a couple ODAC championships as well. Now in what I think is her third season on the sidelines for Lynchburg as the assistant for this club. A culture that's been developed that sees a lot of former women's soccer athletes come back to Lynchburg in really any capacity that they can still be around the team. Jessica Hinkle, formerly Jessica Gonzalez, still on the staff as well with Coach Deacon. Caitlin Mertens joined the crew last year. A stellar player in her own right when she was playing on the pitch. Tori Dott, former assistant coach, as far as those that were here since I came to Lynchburg 6 years ago. And even when it comes to other positions around the athletic department. Of course, when I first got here, Gracie Withers, who was on the team, took a lot of photos of every team, but certainly wanted to be around this program as much as possible. And Hannah Grassberger is here today with Kennedy Jackie Beck and Natalia Rodriguez taking in the atmosphere and enjoying an intense battle. I asked them, what about this weekend? Why did you come back this weekend? Well, we just all had free time. We wanted to watch the girls play. As simple as that, as Santana makes the footwork not look simple. And Wigboldy's shot attempt blocked by Prilliman. And now the Generals on the run. Ball gets through and down goes Swisher. Run into by Von Rosenberg. And it's going to go against Swisher in that moment. Looking at it again on the right side of your screen. Von Rosenberg coming. Swisher heading that direction. Two objects meet and both go down. Free kick now for the Generals with the wind at their back. Going right at the cage, and it goes high off the top of the net. Right idea from Cameron Granger, a freshman with a powerful left leg. And twice now in the first 10 minutes of this half, Washington and Lee has really tested this Lynchburg defense and goalkeeper combination. Once again, it's Hay, and Hay scores! Aaron Hay, what an individual effort with Santana draped all over her, gets it to her right foot and puts it home. Fifth goal of the season in spectacular fashion. Look at it again. Dealing with the contact, had enough room to get her foot on that ball and beating Mason to the spot to make it 2-0 Washington and Lee.
Don't get all happy now. A lot of time.
Goal, Washington Lee. Goal scored by number 19, Aaron Hay.
Off the touch, 9. Give it to Elle over here. She can't handle it.
We don't walk on this field.
That was beautiful. Ah! Listen! Oh, nice miss kick, Elle.
Come on, Al.
So both times the Generals have scored. They've been in an impressive fashion related to where the shot has been taken. And just going from near side to far side on those shots just speaks to the accuracy of those shots. 9 total shots for the Generals in this match, 6 of them on target. Mason has been able to stop 4 of those, but the 2 that have gotten past her have been on the money. And in the end of those chances, it's a cha-ching. Going back to look at the foul. Wigboldy. And pulling down, you can see there, to grab that right shoulder of Bynum and pulled her to the turf. Easier call for the official than some of these have been.
Move it! Really? Really?
Put your mask up, coach.
Lots of time remaining, obviously, in this match. More than communication. And a goal kick for Laura Mason. First change of the second half, and it will be Caroline Bunker subbing in for Amanda Wigboldy with 32 minutes to go in the penultimate match of the season for both of these teams. Each will play one more next Saturday. WNL will host Bridgewater for Senior Day, and Lynchburg will travel west to battle the Maroons of Roanoke College. Somebody practicing their tuba. I think that's the only thing we were missing on Friday night was the Vuvuzela, but it's here on Sunday afternoon. As the crowds continue to get larger as we progress throughout the seasons, making it feel more like home. Cameron Granger going at Mason again and scoring from way out there.
That was all the way, Grace. You're pretty lucky you're down here.
Cannot wait to see this again. Cameron Granger all the way in on the free kick. What a beauty. Third goal of the season, and it's the finest for the freshman out of Charlotte, the Queen City, making a queen-like play. And the Generals in firm control now with a little over 30 minutes to play. Before 2019, Washington and Lee had never scored more than one goal against Lynchburg going back to 1999. Since 2019, 6. 3 in that last match and 3 here today. Great game plan and execution by the team that is undefeated and has only given up one goal this season. And even that was a 5-1 win over Ferrum. And we're going to get a clock stoppage as the official wants to chat with Caroline Lawson. Alex Allen, free kick, and that wind just pushed the ball. She was aiming more towards the inside 6 box, towards that corner, and it sailed all the way to that green open space between the 6 and the 18. So the wind becoming a factor there. First yellow card of the match to Caroline Lawson. That's just the second yellow card given to Washington and Lee this season. Great ball led ahead, but too far for Perlman.
What a kick, Sante!
Allen keeps it low. Stepping in front was Hay. Aaron Hay has one of the 3 goals today. Allen has to corral it along the 18 line. Here come the Generals once more with efficient passes, good one touches. Nice accuracy. Cutting inside, it's Prilliman. Has some room for a shot. She'll put it on, and Mason will scoop it in. 5th save of the afternoon for Laura Mason. Season high for 1 match, but too many shots faced in the end. 8 of the 12 for Washington and Lee have been on target. Meanwhile, Lynchburg has only registered 3 total shots. Idea, but once again, it's Liz Sullivan stepping in the way. Change here for the Generals.
Number 22,
Emily leading. Arkansas native steps back in. She did a good job of making her presence known as a sub in the first half. And a ball that comes way through the box and never got, though, to Prilliman as Mason was able to get in the path. Good pressure from leading. And then Hyatt and leading battle near the corner. Going to be Hyatt tossing it in. You can hear the wind now on our microphone out on the field. As that intensifies, some low-hanging clouds move in. There is a chance of rain throughout the entire day. So far, we've been fortunate, though. Rained in the pregame setup, but nothing else. As a big hit is made. Grady and Barnes a part of it. Men's lacrosse team enjoys it. You get to enjoy it again. There's Grady going after it. Barnes comes in as well. And it's a free kick for the Hornets in the end. Swisher will send it. The wind dies down a little bit. See if she tries to time this kick to pressure Combs. She will, and it will go well wide. Alyssa D'Amato and Camille Waits are back in for Lynchburg with 24:10 to go in the second half. A lot of work cut out for this Hornets team that hasn't been able to show sustained pressure throughout, making it really tough to see a way for them to complete a comeback. However, based on the seedings, there is a chance that these teams meet again in the tournament in less than 2 weeks' time. So it's important to at least play well, try to win these last 20 minutes, and use that into the potential next matchup with the Generals. The only chance that there is left for the tournament not to have the Generals as the highest seed is if the Eagles of Bridgewater can defeat them in Lexington next Saturday. But this team looks so formidable. They look like a team on a mission to hoist the trophy in 2 weeks. They're going to be tough to beat, no doubt. Madeline Becker, a Naperville, Illinois native, steps in for the first time today. Bunker being shadowed by Rapier. Their names aren't said very often, but you got to commend this midfield and defense for the Generals. Lynchburg is certainly capable of creating chances on the offensive end, and good ones at that. But every one of these backline players and midfielders for Washington and Lee have done a great job of getting in those passing lanes and making it very difficult to get more than one pass inside the box. As once again, Leading and Hyatt go to work. And once again, Lynchburg will have possession. 2 changes for the Hornets. Abby Little coming in, and we're also going to see Kelsey Seary, who's on your screen right now for the first time. Seary scoring her first career goal last Sunday against Shenandoah.
Don't you push her.
Pilliman. Bunker and Rapier collide. Easy for me to say. Abby Little on a sprint. And that should be a whistle. And a kick and a card. I thought the official pulled his card out. He does. Check it out again. Little with the pass. And I believe it was intended for D'Amato, who went down before it got there. And it goes against Chloe Rapier. So the Generals came in with 1 yellow card in the season, and they have 2 now in this game. And Lynchburg has a very good position for a free kick about 20 yards away with an accurate and hard shot that Taylor Smith possesses. And Smith puts it on, but rises too high.
Into the game for the Hornets, number 23, Jessica
Lakowitz just stepped onto the pitch for Lynchburg. One more look at it. Smith, right idea, goes high to keep it over everyone's head, and even if it came down near the post, or excuse me, near the crossbar, I think Coombs had the reach and that 5'8" frame to send it away either way. 4th shot of the day for Lynchburg. And as each team continues to make changes. This time, well, it was going to be the Generals, but they'll wait until potentially the next whistle. Kelsey Seary, Walsh, and waits. Plays now for Seary on a sprint, trying to work her way around Prilliman. Kelsey Seary crossing one, chipped inside, off the hip of a defender. Waits gets in there, and a whistle will give it back to the Generals. Looked like Rapier got in the way of that crosser from Seary. Using the left hip to knock it down. Check it out again. Yes, it was Rapier. Almost a handball, but would have gone against Lynchburg and put us where we are now either way, with the Generals having a goal kick. Here's Caitlin Barnes, who goes down. Little sporting the double of Barnes' number. 22 takes down 11. And Emily Santana returns for the Hornets as Emma Mansfield, the freshman from our nation's capital, makes her first appearance. Seary again, working against Mansfield. And in the way momentarily was Rapier. Now it rolls back to find Bunker. Bunker tried to play it over top of Sullivan. That's going to be a tall task. D'Amato looking for some help. Takes it herself, knocked down by Rapier. Back to Bunker, and it's going to sail wide of the cage. Stays in play. Coombs forced to kick it. And once again, we've got a good battle with Leading and Hyatt along the near touch line. Santana takes down Granger, who may have the goal of the year in what was the third goal of this match. I'm going to guess that she was 35 yards out on that free kick. It was in that general area, about where Louisa Bynum is right now, just on the opposite side of the field. Siri again, but lost it. Time running out on Lynchburg. They have never lost back-to-back matches with Washington and Lee since that date back in '99. Generals in firm control of changing that trend today in a place that they haven't been successful. 6-7-2 in the previous 28 meetings on Schellenberger Field. Some of those in postseason play. And maybe another meeting, perhaps the 30th meeting since the turn of the century, will be in this year's ODAC tournament. Mason sends it out, and a substitution will be made. Let's go back and look at how we got here in the second half. This is the second goal of the game, and a beauty from Aaron Hay. I mean, just with the defender draped all over, still able to take the shot, one, and make it in that moment, two. Brilliant stuff from Aaron Hay. That made it 2-0. And this might make it 3-1. It will. Alyssa D'Amato. She continues her goal streak. 4 goals in the last 2 matches. Her 6th of the season. Just continual pressure from D'Amato. She was right there when the confusion took place. Defenders trying to get in front of her. Coombs not trying to become too much of an issue for her own players. And in the end, D'Amato squeaking it past and making it 3-1 and bringing some life back to the field here. Lynchburg, of course, wanting to counter quickly if they can. And a yellow card again for the Generals. Their 3rd of the contest. And it's going against Sydney von Rosenberg this time. As I mentioned back near the 20-minute mark, important for Lynchburg to play hard. They might get in a position where they can play for the win, but either way, it's important to show that you can do well against this team, because it is likely that you meet them again in the tournament. They have not quit. They have continued to pressure, and it was fortuitous for one Alyssa D'Amato. Lakowitz collects it from Santana. Lakowitz, one of the seniors on this squad. No rumblings yet on who may come back for the fall. Since there is no NCAA tournament, everyone has the extra year of eligibility to use, just like the spring athletes had from a year ago. Bunker and Little doing what they can, but in the end, it's Washington and Lee swiftly kicking it back towards midfield as Lakowitz plays strongly on von Rosenberg. Allen sends it down the sideline. Lindsay White, who no longer has the game winner, scoring the first of 3 for the Generals today. In fact, if things hold here, the game winner would be the one we just showed you not long ago from Aaron Hay. dead sprint. Who's going to get there? It will be Caitlin Barnes. And that one will roll across the far sideline. Just the second goal given up by Washington and Lee this season. And the first goal against for Grace Coombs in 2021.
Washington Lee corner being taken by number 18, Caroline Lawson.
Caroline Lawson will send in the corner. This is the fourth of the match for Washington and Lee. And it sails over everyone's head.
Oh yeah, Sati!
Under 9 minutes to play in regulation. Lynchburg desperately looking for another quick one here. Santana chased down by Von Rosenberg. Sullivan steps into it and takes it herself. And then we'll go deep, and if nothing else, waste some precious time that Lynchburg needs. Good opportunity here. Bunker trying to get to it though, and Sullivan stamps it out. Lynchburg will still have a throw from inside their offensive zone. Bunker. Santana rips one that will come down, and Coombs is forced to make a save. That time the wind playing an advantage for Lynchburg, as that normally would have sailed high, but the wind pushed it back and down and forced Coombs to make the stop. And it will be the fourth corner for the Hornets. Look at it again. Watch this ball. The backspin, the wind. Coombs with the punch across. Meanwhile, on the corner, it in swings out of play, and no play to be made on it, as the Generals make 3 substitutions here.
That's the Generals. Number 3, Ellie Perlman.
Ellie Perlman.
5, Brenna Wenner.
Brenna Wenner.
30, Annie Martin.
All coming in for the Generals, as well as Annie Martin. Santana gets a piece with a noggin. Bunker trying to regain possession. Now Santana plays it ahead for Waits. Now forward for D'Amato. D'Amato trying to gain possession with a little bit of space, and it's going to go off of Lynchburg, says the official, much to the chagrin of the home crowd perched above the field. Five minutes remaining in this one. Generals with a 3-0 lead until Alyssa D'Amato scored her 6th goal of the season to bring us to 3-1. Generals have outshot Lynchburg 13-6. Trip. And here's a free kick. Allen looking for Bunker, and Bunker and Sullivan getting involved again. The official wants to chat about it. Both players pulling on each other's jerseys. And now head official wants to stop things and chat with the far side AR. Don't know if this is confirmation that it should go against one player or not, or just confirmation that that was the right call to make. Well, we're going to get a chat with the near side official now. In the end, still a goal kick. And Lynchburg still with some time to make it a 1-goal game. Free kick here for Allen. Sails up, headed back. Santana trying to get there first, and she will. Everyone pushing forward now for Lynchburg as time runs out. Just under 3 minutes to go. Good pressure from Von Rosenberg in front of that kick from Hyatt. And time-wasting mode for Prilliman and company. Corner opportunity for the Generals. Here is that look at Von Rosenberg going down, working against Allen. It'll be Caroline Lawson with the kick coming from the flag. Goes for it. And out of play off the head of Rapier. Pressure building as Bunker keeps it low for Little on the run. Little, can she keep it in play? No. Just a bit too strong, and that is going to seal the fate of the Hornets today. Just too much to come back from after giving up 2 goals in the second half. Entertaining nonetheless, this match. So glad you could join us on this Sunday afternoon. We hope that this has been a fun part of the end of your week before the Sunday scaries kick in. If they already have, I'm sorry. I know how that feels. Lynchburg will fall to 5-1 overall, as the Generals improve to 7-0, each with 1 match remaining in the regular season before the ODAC tournament starts on April 6th. Stay tuned to ODAConline.com for the seedings of that tournament. As 90 minutes is recorded, the Generals win back-to-back for the first time in the last 29 meetings against Lynchburg, this time by a final of 3-1. We'll leave you with some highlights from today's match as we end our week here on LHSN. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back in action on Tuesday for some baseball at Fox Field. Until then, on behalf of the entire LHSN crew, I'm Joe Hutzler, hoping you have an enjoyable remainder of your Sunday.